Okay, first things first.
I'm there.
I know this isn't your concern, but it's my concern. I want to grab all this shit. I want to turn it all in. And the reason I want to turn all that shit in, I'm actually going to unload this stuff here. We'll take care of this stuff later, guys. Keep the gold iron dagger with us. The reason I'm doing turn all this crap in over here right now. Ooh, Scorpion's Hatred. Let's look at this. Leather armor, +3 leather armor. Max dexterity of 6, so if you have a 6 bonus from max dexterity, or from a high dexterity stat, you could actually have an armor of 11, plus the 10 base, so that's a 21 armor. That's pretty good. That's better than plate mail. And notice it's fire resistant, acid resistant, and cast poison spell twice per day as a 5th level cleric. That's kind of a weird thing. That's probably why it's the Scorpion's Hatred, I guess. I would assume it had poison resistance on it, but apparently I'd be wrong. But it is fire resistant and acid resistant. That, again, that's pretty nice. So pretty solid upgrade for somebody. We'll keep it for the time being. Shepherd's armor, plate of protection. I'm just unloading some. Half plate of hatred. Forgot to look at this. This was from Dragon. So half plate, so not plate mail, half plate, but it's +2. So again, a solid armor. Notice it says max dexterity of 0, but half plates are always a 1, I want to say, on that. So even though it says 0, I bet you if you had an armor, a dexterity where it's a +1 bonus or higher, you'll get a +1. +2 half plate. An ugly face of a demon seems to be seared onto this chest piece with acid, as well as the numerous illegible runes along the edge. Its enhancement bonus to armor class increases to +4 against the attacks of orcs, giants, and goblinoids. That's why it's the half plate of hatred. That's pretty cool. I think he has a theme where he hates those guys. I'll leave the full plate +2 and the cloak of resistance. And I feel that's probably pretty good. And again, I'm like I said, I'm almost 99% sure that we don't need to keep that ruby. But until I actually check online for that, I don't want to make that mistake. But what we're going to do is remember, just as a quick reminder, we had a decent amount of loot, but we didn't do all the loot. So we still have to talk to a storyteller and hand in all our coins and get a story or two. So let's see what we have available for us here, shall we? Brought some relics. Are any worthy of a story? Storyteller says, let me look. Got 5,600 bucks from all the ancient Cyclops coins. Blind, darkness underground, bronze blades clashing, the cold blood of serpent folk and the hot blood of Cyclops mingle on the stone floor. And something else, fear, desperation, agonizing shame. The owner of these pieces was not to be envied. Give me the items you've collected, and I'll tell you the story of the fallen soldier. I hear tools clinking, someone laughing. This is the technically one. Again, we don't have all 5 items, so we still need to work on that. This is strange. I feel the traces of rune magic of the Thassalon, heavy spells of Cyclops, precise wizardry of Zlant, and the fresh wind of elven spells. And again, more stuff from the depths. Find all 5 items. So, tell me about the fallen soldier. And we got another 10 grand for that too. And 1,875 XP for the team. I feel the damp cold of a dungeon. Weapons clinking. I smell blood and soldier's footcloth. There is a dull pain in my muscles and a weariness, an endless weariness on the verge of desperation. We've lost the fallen warrior's boot, the fallen warrior's buckle, the fallen warrior's sheath, the fallen warrior's flint. Remember, we had 2 of those. And the fallen warrior's flask. We'll sell the other one. I am a Cyclops, a soldier of the 19th Unbending Legion of the Golgan Empire. We travel the Dark Lands with the mission of clearing the middle levels of the southwest sector of Serpent Folk. Over the course of the mission, we've lost 1/3 of our contingent. Our rations run low, our morale lower. I've heard several soldiers secretly tell each other they've lost any hope of returning home. But I stand strong. I'll endure whatever I must to return home alive for the sake of my wife and child. But each new march, each new battle, dims the thought that I'll ever see them again. I pray for the sun's protection and guidance, but can the great luminary even hear me down here? Golgan, I thought the Cyclops Empire was called Coloran. Coloran, never heard of it. The storyteller's face twitches and his normal voice returns. Coloran was founded by Golgan refugees several centuries later. As for why there were refugees at all, well, we'll learn that soon enough. So again, this is part of the story. How long have you been on your mission? Cut off from the sun and the moon, we count time by daily marches. I have lost track completely. It feels like we've spent an eternity in this underground hell. Could it be that when I return, my son will be a graying old man with sons of his own, and then them sons themselves? No, I must avoid these venomous thoughts. Do you worship the sun? Yes, of course. Do you know what race is Cyclops above the animals and other two-legged savages? The Cyclops face has one eye, a single orb, just like the sun in the sky during the day or the moon at night. We build majestic temples to praise the luminaries, and in return they reward us with prophetic visions. The lesser races may roam in the dark, but the Cyclops are capable of seeing truth. Why do you wage war against the serpent folk? By the order of our empress, Zelecti Neverdoze. With her own hands she destroyed their den near Gargatar and beheaded their leader. The Darklands will be ours soon. Maybe once we've purged it of serpent folk, we can find a way to bring some sunlight down here. Go on with your story. Our mission continues. We've lost half our contingent, but we still have no orders to turn back. The soldiers' desperation is becoming open indignation. If we were outside in this situation, I'm convinced half the unit would have deserted by now. But here we are, and there's nowhere to run. I listen to the soldiers talking, and I don't like what I hear. This underground hell has changed them. They don't look to the luminaries for help anymore. Rumor has it that some of them have secretly begun praying to the serpent folk's gods. Worse than barbarism, this is pure insanity. But wasn't this mission itself insane in hindsight? What beings do the serpent folk worship? I don't know, and I don't wish to. Who could possibly be worthy of worshipping in these fetid catacombs where sunlight can never reach? Devils or demons, if I had to guess. We've seen some of their unholy shrines, and they were enough to make even seasoned veterans sick. Flayed skins, bowls of blood and entrails, altars made of bones, and this done to their own kin, to their own serpent folk. I can't imagine what they do to their captives. Did you kill many serpent folk? I think so. I don't know the exact numbers. That filth doesn't practice honest combat. They move through secret passages to ambush us, attacking from behind or above or below. We've decimated many of their nests, but they still keep coming. Go on. The Legion rebelled. An officer caught some of the soldiers offering sacrifice to the serpent folk's gods, and he ordered them arrested and executed, but he had no idea how deep the contagion had spread. Many soldiers refused to follow his orders. The groups stood facing each other, swords bared, loyalists against traitors. I should stand by my commanding officer, die beside him as a loyal soldier of the Empire. But I'm scared. Oh, son, I'm so scared. I don't want to die here underground. I want to see my wife and son again. I couldn't say a single word. I couldn't even move while they butchered our commanding officer and the soldiers who remained loyal to him. But that couldn't save me from what happened next. They declared the slain as sacrifices to the serpent folk's gods, and each of us had to taste the flesh of the sacrificed or share in their fate. Oh, man, that's nasty. Salty blood runs down my lips. I choke down slimy meat and clap my hands to my mouth to keep myself from puking. Sun and moon can't help us here, and I raise my prayer to new gods. My legs won't hold me, so I kneel. And I feel them. I feel they're here with me. They stand around me, their cold palms on my forehead, and my fear subsides. I'll return home. Isn't that what I was praying for? Won't you end up executed for treason? Not if they never learn of it. We all agreed on the story we'd tell our commanders when we returned. Our operation was successful. The Legion suffered heavy losses. The commanding officer was killed in action, so the next in command took his place and ordered us to head back. We did. That's all. Do you still sacrifice Cyclops? Just once or twice. Oh, just once or twice. Now we try to capture serpent folk alive and sacrifice them instead. I've even developed a taste for snake meat. The underground gods turned away from that scum. Their new followers are far superior. Such power and glory these new gods can bring to the Empire. We could even challenge Aslant itself. Oh my. Go on. On the upper levels, we rejoined the main force of our army. We reported the cleansing operation as a success. No one doubted our story of the officer's glorious death. Not that I'm surprised. It seems our Legion wasn't the only one to accept the protection of the underground gods. Some soldiers even prayed to them openly, and our superiors turn a blind eye to it. Finally, we make it back to the surface. I breathe fresh air deep into my lungs. Like a crimson eye, the huge ball of light glares down on me from the sky. I shut my eye, for I'm no longer used to sunlight. Tears run down my face. No matter, it's all right. I'll be home soon. I must thank the gods for my safe return. Maybe my son would make a good sacrifice? Oh, dude. What happened to Golgon after that? As so often happens, while the serpent folk may have lost the war with the Cyclops, they won victory over their souls. Soon, dark cults spread throughout the Golgan Empire, replacing the traditional worship of celestial deities. Sacrifices of Cyclops, public tortures, and ritual cannibalism became commonplace. The Empire began to decay. How was Coloron founded? Seeing the Empire dying, some Cyclopes fled to what is now known as Iobaria. They hoped to preserve the culture of the Golgan Empire, the culture of old Golgan, to build a new country, free of the dark cults. But as before, the contagion was already too deep. Coloran proved to be just a lesser copy of Golgan. And then the Earthfall came. Skies have fallen down, ending the Cyclope civilization, along with so many others. Thank you for the story. I found shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me at the anvil? May I? Let's see. This is one artifact that would have been best left in the darkness of its past. These scraps you have brought are from the Cloak of Sold Souls. Its story is dark and terrifying. All this item offers its owner is suffering. If you really want, I can restore it for you, but only as a warning to those who might dream of making deals with the powers of Abaddon. You have found something truly ancient in this. Find the 16 fragments. 17 pieces of the Star Commander's Glove. That one's awesome, by the way. That's the Sky Metal. Restore the Cloak of Soul Souls. The story you want to learn is truly terrible, but even more terrible could be the destiny of any person who dares wear this cloak. But as you wish, I will impart a remnant of my gift into this cloak, so it will be able to recount to you the crimes of its creator. Boom. Now that gear is a pretty badass piece of gear. So let's do the newest to oldest. So this is the Cloak of Sold Souls. Let's read further, shall we? Long ago, in a galaxy... I'm just kidding. Long ago, even before Earthfall, a rich man lived in the empty empire of Cyclopes called Coloran. He possessed anything he could ever wish for in ample supply. Money, fertile lands, slaves, but envy still gnawed at him, for his neighbor had even more. With a dream of destroying his rival, the man raised a prayer to Famine, one of the four horsemen, dreadful deities who were worshipped in Coloran. The deity demanded bloody sacrifice, and the rich man was all too happy to obey. He wrote his agreement with the horseman on skin ripped from a living Cyclops, one of his slaves, and signed it with his own blood. Famine signed the agreement as well, and in an instant the neighbors' fields and orchards were filled with swarms of rats. The rich man rejoiced, but not for long. After decimating the neighbors' crops, the rats moved on to his own lands. So the man prayed to another horseman, War, for help. The deity demanded their agreement be written on the skin of the rich man's favorite servant, an old butler who'd served the family his entire life. The rich man felt pity for his old friend, but he had to act quickly, so he skinned his butler, and as soon as War signed the agreement, packs of wolves rushed into his lands. The wolves quickly devoured the rats and then began attacking the slaves. Seeing his riches melting away, the rich man appealed to the third horseman, Pestilence. I'm noticing a pattern here. For help. To eliminate the wolves, Pestilence demanded that the rich man sacrifice his concubines. The rich man loved his women very much, but he valued his lands more. After the agreement was signed on the concubine skins, Pestilence unleashed swarms of flies upon the estate. The flies began spreading all kinds of disease, wiping out animals and Cyclopes alike. As the rich man pulled his hair out in despair, the fourth horseman, Death, came with a proposal to return all of his riches in exchange for the lives of all of his family. After the man skinned his loved ones, Death signed the agreement, and all who'd died previously rose once again. The rich man's slaves, the flies, the wolves, the rats, and even the trees in his orchards. They were all vicious undead now. Once the emperor learned of this, he sent his guards to the estate, and after seeing a series of long and difficult battles, they burned the estate to the ground. A cloak was crafted from the skins that had been used for the vile agreements. The emperor's guards placed the cloak around the rich man's shoulders and chased him through all of Coloran with whips until the cloak and the flesh it covered had been torn to tatters. That would have been the end of this story, but after thousands of years, someone found the pieces of this cloak and restored it, deciding to play with dark powers at their own peril. You're damn right I did, because I'm the Magus, biatch. Notice this what this does now. This is a -4 to your con score. This is something you would not want on any character, except for our undead characters, because they don't have a con stat. Keep reading. +2 the wearer's caster level when they cast necromancy spells or summon spells. Summoning subtype spells. So literally any summon creature, summon monster 1 through 9, any of that. Or necromancy spells. And again, that includes our Animate Dead, which is a necromancy spell, and all the necromancy spells that she has, because she's the Necrolord, the Proto-Lich, remember? And she's undead, so she's getting this cloak. Keep reading. It also grants its wearer +2 bonus to necromancy school spells DC. So every necromancy spell that she has now has another +2 added to its DC check. That's amazing for us. Unequipping this cloak. This is where it gets funny. It grants the ability to cast Vampiric Touch spell 3 times per day with a caster level equal to the character level. So Babe, she gets Vampiric Touch, which gives her 10 hit points. But, now here's where it gets weird. Unequipping this cloak is only possible after casting Remove Curse spell on the wearer and passing a DC 25 caster level check. That's pretty high. Failing this check kills the wearer immediately and summons a hostile Thana Demon. If the wearer has reached level 20, it summons a hostile Astra Demon instead. Remember, those are the kind of dudes that we fought in the Vorkai's place to get those 2 kick-ass rubies. So again, a badass cloak, and you better believe she's getting this. Now the kick on this is, again, they have to have no con stat for this to really be a good idea, and they have to be, quite frankly, someone that does necromancy something, or summoning, but necromancy at the very least. And she is a necromancer for an Eldritch Scoundrel. That's what she specialized in. So her DC checks for necromancy is going to be baller. Now never take that shit off. So, as a matter of fact, I don't think you can. Like I said, if I try to take it off, I think she just straight up dies. Notice, let's do type. Notice we have these 3 scraps, these 3 scraps, and again, stuff that we need to return then to the chest before we bounce out of here. But that was an awesome set of stories. And I'm going to put... Notice we had an extra one of those too, an ancient scrap of script covered leather. That's the one we used to make this garment in the first place. So again, we can sell that. This is a screwdriver. We don't have remotely those pieces yet. We can sell this because we just heard that story. And Sky Metal. This will make the Star Gauntlet, Star Commander's Gauntlet, whatever the hell it's called. And this rune covered ancient leather scrap, these things will actually be used to make a piece of gear. I want to say it's the Tiger Stripes leather armor or hide armor. And what that one does, it allows the person, it's magic armor, but then also allows them to turn at will into a tiger, like a saber-toothed tiger, I think. It's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a, to me, it smacks of a barbarian gift, or maybe something that you'd put on a druid. But again, it's probably something we'll just strip, make, get the money and XP for it, and sell the damn thing. But that's a solid upgrade. And we have people to level up. We'll do that here in a minute, but I want to sell this stuff off so I don't forget about it. And we need to decide on what we need to do here next. Oh, and I also need to make, before I leave the area, I need to make our new leathersmith, her shop. The area that we're headed to next is going to be amazing, and you're going to love this area. We're starting, again, Varnhold's done. Now we're on the Twice-Born Warlord. Hours of Rage and Betrayer's Flights. This is where Tristan is in Kingdom Mirror. Hours of Rage, and again, that's to help the Sword Lords out, and Amiri, by the way. Some of the militia in Varnhold. We're working on that. And we got our Ancient Curse. Got plenty of time for that one. Add 8 regions to our land. We just added Varnhold to our territory.
Follow if you dare.
See what you got. I don't need all these golden threads. That's a little excessive. Keeping all that stuff. Again, we don't need that one. We don't need the Fallen Warriors Flint again, because we had 2 of them. And I think that's it. I think so. Yeah. Alright. And again, since you just got back here, you should always check to make sure he hasn't upgraded again. Give it a quick once over. Don't see anything. And again, we're doing good on money. Remember, we wanted to have at least 600k up to $1 million or $2 million, if at all possible, in cash for the pit tax thing. But again, we're still fine on that. We'll get to the 600,000, I have no doubt, as long as we don't go crazy in our spending. We still have stuff in the box that I can sell too, by the way. But we'll work on that later, after we figure out who we have and who's going to be equipped with what. It's really annoying that we lost Tristan's stuff, because he had some really kicking gear on. Remember, he had that really nice crossbow. He had a decent robe that we just found that we gave to him specifically. So, project-wise, we have Varnhold Militia, which we can't do right now. End of the month. And again, the 3rd month, so it says we're fine. I don't believe it, but it says we're fine. We have all these things to do. Now I wanted to get over here to Varnhold to show you our new territory. And it doesn't give us a choice where to make it, because it's always the same spot. Fortunately, it already has stuff there, which is pretty badass. But we need to build a shop for her. First, notice we have plenty of BP, so you better believe in that watermark. I'm going to make me... Oh, we can't make piers there. Lighthouse. There we go. And that's espionage and stability, which we definitely need, because espionage is really, really low. Getting this to rank 3 by... Getting espionage to rank 3, by the way, well, ranked up, let's just say it that way, will give us the ability to make in towns the ability to have aviaries. It'll be a special building, clearly at the... Oh, hell, we have the ability to make them now. Oh, that's awesome. And this is... Yeah, this is a town. It is given to us as a town. I forgot about that. That's kind of cool. And I probably should have made the other town one of the other other towns on the other side. Damn it. Oh well. That's what it is. But having aviaries in towns, for those of you that don't know, allows us to actually pretend like we're actually in the throne room. Okay? Allows governing the barony from adjacent regions, even if those regions are not part of the barony. So again, remember how we have to travel back to our zone when we click that little button? We'll be able to click the little button no matter where we're at, so long as there's an aviary touching the land next to it, which is what we're basically saying here. So we're going to make this aviary. Does it have to be next to anything? Oh, look at that. In addition, lowers the time required to resolve events by 1 day in this and adjacent regions. That's pretty awesome. Definitely making that. And I definitely need to make her shop. Nethys Library. Sacred Grove. Where's her shop? Not the library. Mage Tower. Halfling Brewery, Goblin's Quarters. Is it not here? What do we have built here? Piers, Barnhold, Fort, Windmill. Aviary, Trade Shop. Trade Shop. You would think that that would be it. Maybe we have to physically visit here. Oh, we needed to make the, that's what it probably is. We need to do the quest here in the capital for Varnhold. I bet you that's what it is. Until we do this, she won't let us make her a shop, which is fair. Okay, so that was pretty cool though. We got an aviary going up. Let's see. Before we leave here, who needs to level up? Jubilost, hell yeah. Level 13, that's his level 5 spells, baby, and more bomb damage. I love all that. And yeah, sure, you can stealth. Why not? Now, we can get improved to weapon fighting, and again, the more attacks he has in a combat round, the more he can bomb somebody. So if you go back to his abilities here, you'll see... the skills? Let's show it. I thought it would show how many attacks he has in a combat round. 1, 2. Yeah. Anyway, point is, with improved to-weapon fighting and greater to-weapon fighting, if you can get them, he'll be able to, like, unleash 4, 5, 6 bombs in a combat round. It gets crazy real fast, but it's kind of overkill. And again, we've been using his bombs heavily, so something that would be nice for him is extra bombs. So, just saying, up to you. At this point, I have pretty much everything I wanted for him, except for spells, obviously. Hide these spells. Now, here's the only level 5 spells he has access to besides the Overland Flight. Not a lot of good choices here, too. But, Communal Stone Skin is kind of nice. So is Spell Resistance. Let me actually walk you through the two of these first. Communal obviously affects the whole team if they're within the circle. It takes Diamond Dust component, but notice this. It's 10 for the total of the people. It only lasts for 10 minutes, but for a hard fight, this is a good way to give everyone some armor. And damage absorption. And 10 Diamond Dust, while that sounds bad, For Stone Skin, the single-use one, the one that you can put on each person separately, which he has the ability to do, it's right here. This one, it won't let me click it, little bastard. There we go. It costs 5 diamond dust per person. See that? Now, yes, it'll last 10 minutes per level, so it'll last a lot longer. But in a pinch, I'd rather use this one. Just saying. So on you. Spell resistance is another viable option, and again, lasts a decent amount of time. Spell resistance equal to 12 plus the caster level. Right now he's caster level 13, so this would be a 25 spell resistance, and I can put that on anybody. That's pretty baller. Just saying, that's a really nice upgrade. So it's kind of on you which of these two to grab. We're going to get both. I say spell resistance maybe first, though. Spells are usually my problem. And of course we'll do spell books later, but Lindsay needs to level up. Level 12 Bard. She has the ability now to use her bardic performance to straight up heal people, which is pretty baller. We got 3 more upgrades here. What's your actual dexterity at, kid? 18. So I'm going to put 1 in dexterity in case I ever want to have her do like 2-weapon fighting or something crazy. I can do that sort of thing. And then I'll put the last 2 at 16 and 20 into charisma. Okay? So get trickery up. Get perception up. Get these guys up. Matter of fact, you know what? We'll get Arcana up. Notice again, she's got the bardic jack of all trades and the bardic knowledge. Right now she's rocking, even at level 12, a 23 on this check. Now is that the highest? No, 26 for Protolich and 29 for me. Again, we're doing better, but she's level 12. We're level, like, I'm 16 now, and Protolich I think is like 13 or 14. So again, she'll get caught up there, and then again, she'll do the same with the World one. And, matter of fact, let's show you that one. Again, I'm great at it. Protolich is good at it. So is Jubilost. But again, with her bardic performance, the 13 turns into a 19, thanks to her bardic knowledge. So she's doing well, is my point. Level 4 spells. Serenity could be good. Seeing Viz Communal could be good. Rainbow Pattern is a decent one. Freedom of movement. Dominate person. Dimension Door is fun. Cure critical wounds if we want to have her helping out in a pinch. Dimension Door, though, is an interesting one. And again, we haven't had anyone with the ability to just spontaneously do that. So I'm actually going to give that to her. Because that's kind of an odd duck. I got all kinds of people that leveled up here. Okay, Octavia. She is level 8 Arcane Trickster. Got another sneak attack die. More intelligence. And now at this point, like I said, for her, I may... Let me see your stats, kid. I may want to put her at 19 so that she can do 2-weapon fighting. You know, as a rogue type with the sneak attack love that she has, she can actually do a pretty whooping on it. But I still on the side of, you know, intelligence is probably really her forte. And just keep pushing it through the roof. It's probably not a wrong thing to do with that. So let's keep doing that. Got a lot of extra points to spend. Nothing that really stands out as being woohoo, grab it. But, again, a solid Arcana. I mean, I can get this one caught up to a solid number already if I wanted to. Or make her stealth through the roof. There we go. So when she slaps on some Viz on herself, she can add a 20 to that 18 right there. She could be at a 38 for invisible. For stealthing. That's not bad. Spell-wise. This is her first chance at level 6 spells. See that? How do I know this? Because we don't have one transmutation spell yet on her list. We had to wait to get here to grab it, because nothing has shown up. Now what to grab? Well, she does ray casting, and you better believe Disintegrate's going to be that free spell. Dragonkind is another viable option for her. It'll give her a lot of bonuses, but she's more of a dex-based character. Transformation is a viable option for her. So is Tarpool for some straight up just damage. But Disintegrate is a beam, and it's going to be awesome. From here, another spell to pick. We already have Icy Prison from the lower level, the intensified version. Cloak of Dreams was already on our list. Chain Lightning is good. Hellfire Ray is going to be awesome. Greater Heroism is amazing. Siroko's as a favorite, as you know. There's no real wrong answer here. Of these, the only one I could say that I may say no to, Banshee Blast. I don't particularly care about it. Elemental Assessor's kind of gimmicky. And Stone to Flesh, which we've already talked about, as well as the AoE buffs. Whether it's in the physical or the mental ones, it doesn't much matter. by now you probably have, or will have, gear real soon that's a +4 or greater to any of the physical or mental stats. So those are kind of meh. And beast shape, it's personal. Turns her into a Smilodon, or large shambling mount, or a large wyvern. She's not great at fighting. However, if you turn her into this form when she runs out of spells, this could be useful for her. So, meh. But I like that greater heroism. That's one we haven't had yet. And that's a solid +4 to attack rolls, to saves, to skill checks, immunity to fear, and temp hit points equal to her caster level. That's a solid upgrade for anybody. Okay. Val's turn. Going with that fighter, baby. Extra fighter feat. I love that. We're going to level off her con. No, actually, let's get her charisma up one more. And the reason I say that is because her charisma stat is what she does for her advisor role. Charisma is what she uses. So that's nice. Let's get her athletics up, perception up, and I got another point left. Let's get persuasion up. Sure, why not? I can do greater weapon specialization. Remember, she's a fighter, so she doesn't get things like arcane strike, where she can like just increase the damage of her weapon. She has to rely on things like this. So her weapon already does an extra 2 because she has weapon specialization for bastard sword. If I do this one, it'll be another 2, so she could have actually +4 to her damage swinging her weapon just because of these feats. Now there's other stuff to grab. We already have armor focus for heavy though. We already probably have shield focus right there. So any shield she uses is awesome. As far as anything else on this, shield wall could be interesting. It's a teamwork feat though. Precise strike could be interesting. Jaethel and Eliza both have it, and if they're on the team and you know Eliza's usually here with me all the time, she'll do extra damage with her hits. That's 1d6 of damage. That's the one that's the precision damage that you see. It's not sneak attack, but it's similar. I could do missile shield. You must be using a shield to use this feat, which she's always going to do. Once per round, when she normally would be hit from a ranged weapon, they basically just say, nope, don't get it. Now again, she has to be aware of the attack and not flat-footed, so invisible guys screw her hugely. But I'll happily take that. I could get improved blind fight, though. I could get, what have we been working on for her? Raider shield focus, back-to-back. Yeah, we've just been all over the place with her, just making her awesome. So yeah, I'll happily take missile shield. That sounds like a nice one. It doesn't matter if it's a magic arrow or not. You know, it's like the first arrow that would have penetrated her armor. She just bats it out of the air. Ranger 16. I love this. Proved evasion now. Remember, this one does. So again, if they make his reflex save, he takes no damage. But if he fails his reflex save, he'll only take half damage from those spell effects. That's pretty awesome. From here, let's get his dex up one more so it's even up. He has a really nice dex right now at 22. He really is 22. I haven't even added gear to him to make it higher. And then I have one more point to spend, and like I said, I'll probably spend it here in strength to make it an odd number, because at least strength, it will benefit him for carrying capacity. Put all those up, and one more in athletics. And again, he's got solid stats too, bro. He's crushing it. Jaethel and Knock Knock and the Weirdos' turn. Let's just finish the Weirdos off because they're just straight up completions. We're just following whatever they say is a good idea, because I don't ever use those guys. Knock Knock, let's do him first. He's a rogue, as you know. He's getting another rogue talent. More dexterity. I could do that twice. That'd be a good idea. I could do con twice because I got one at 16 and one at 20. I could do strength twice and get him up to not be a wimp, basically. But really, dexterity is kind of his bread and butter. And as you can see, by the time he gets to 20, he's going to be rocking a +10 to his modifier here. That's pretty baller. Let's put all the points in these guys. Solid numbers across the board for the stuff he does, except for use magic device, of course. Now for rogue talent, remember, we're not going to worry about improved uncanny dodge because he probably got that for free. Yep, and uncanny dodge as well, so we can just hide those. So everything's a smorgasbord. We have access to all of it. Double debilitation. Now this is the interesting one, where you can activate 2 things instead of 1. So this could be a -2 to their swing and a -2 to their armor class. If he hits him, I could do dispelling attack, where again, every chance he sneak attacks, he has a chance of dispelling a magical effect on the target. That's awesome. Basically strips apart all their buffs. I can give him a familiar, which is kind of weird. Opportunist. This one's interesting. Read this up. Character can make an attack of opportunity against an opponent who has just been struck for damage in melee by another character. This attack counts as an attack of opportunity for that round and can't be used more than once per round. But, now again, that's my point. Like, I'm standing next to Knock Knock, I hit a target, and he's standing right next to me in that target. He'll do an attack of opportunity. And he can sneak attack that shit because he's flanking. Just saying, that's a pretty good one. So really, in Blinding Strike, a character who selects this talent gains Blinding Critical as a bonus feat, even if he doesn't meet the requirements, which he doesn't. So Blinding Strike, what this one does is, again, if he crits, it has a chance of blinding the target. I don't know if that's a permanent blinding or not, but still a solid penalty to them. And why is that a penalty? If they're blind and they don't have senses to compensate, or like a spell to compensate, then they literally, everything they're swinging at, it has total concealment. That's a 50% miss chance. So that can really screw over an opponent that's relying on their senses or their sight to tackle you down. But again, double debilitation, dispelling attack is good. Hell, I can do combat trick and have access to a crap ton of feats. And again, he's already rocking greater to weapon fighting, so I've already done everything I wanted to do as far as that's concerned. I could get him blind fight though, he could use that. I could get him... what's he got over here? He doesn't have improved critical. Why is that missing from his list? Oh, does he not have weapon focus? In the kukri? H-I-J-K. And the K's missing, so he must have it. Yeah, he's got it. So it ain't that one. Oh, here it is. It's right up here. Improved critical. Again, for the... Where are you at? The kukri. So that he always have that maximum crit range. Whether he has a keen kukri or not. This solves that problem. They're always considered keen. That's awesome. And that's going to be nice when we start getting him better kukris. The ones we're going to give him don't have this. So that's a nice upgrade for him. Knock, knock, you little beast. And of course our last character, Jaethal, our Inquisitor. Level 12, another teamwork feat. Again, she's undead. She could have been someone that we gave that cloak to as well, because of the con negative here. But she doesn't really do a whole lot of necromancy spells. She does summon undead, so there's a couple of those animate dead spells on her list, but by and large she's not really a necro person, in my opinion. We have 3 more points to spend. I suggest you go Wisdom twice and 1 more into Strength as a solid choice. Or I could go 2 into Charisma to get her some more hit points. Remember, that's how she gets her hit points. But we know we can get her more hit points just by getting her Charisma-based gear. So we give her like a TR that buffs her Intelligence, her Wisdom, and her Charisma, like +4 across the board. She'll get a big chunk of HP as a result of that. So again, kind of on you. But Wisdom is nice for spells a day and all the other cool abilities that she has as an Inquisitor. We'll go like that, and then the last point in Persuasion, sure, why not? From here, Teamwork feat. Do we have any of these on anyone else? Allied Spellcaster. And yes, she does have the solo tactics, so it doesn't much matter. She just needs to be standing next to a teammate. But it's nice to know that you have some synergy with someone else. But again, she also doesn't need to have Jaethal standing next to her, because again, she also is an Inquisitor and she also has solo tactics. So again, she doesn't need anyone other than just any random teammate or her pets standing near her. So maybe I don't need that one. Let's think about this. Shield the caster. Oh wait, why did we like Allied Spellcaster? The spell resistance. A +2 to spell 10, basically, as well as a bonus to concentration check. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go with that. I think that's a... No. Let's do coordinated defenses. We never do that one. And this will hopefully protect her from all those tripping attacks and whatnot, because we really don't want her falling down. Level 4. Let's go with... I can do Stone's Kid Restoration, Freedom of Movement. She's got her Inflict Critical already. Oh, all kinds of choices. Restoration. It's always nice to be able to remove negative levels. And we're getting to those pots in the game where negative levels are a real problem. Now, spell-wise, as we go through people's books, he got another level 2. Let's grab him Another sense vials, I suppose. From there, she... First, let's actually just work in reverse order. Disintegrate. Disintegrate. Greater heroism. Here we'll take another one of those battering blaster, why not? Here we'll take another haste, or a haste, we don't have one yet. And do burning arc that's been intensified, those are fun. Alright, and another book for who else? Jubilos with it? Yeah. Overland flight, spell resistance. Did she get a level up? If she did, we already covered her. Okay. Cool. What was I doing next? Oh, first, did anyone need that golden thread? She, remember, she has her vast intelligence. Golden thread is just a charisma bonus, so charisma caster. He has this one. But it's the intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. I suppose I made this argument before. Vast intelligence 6 is nice for her, but she'd lose a spell. But if I give it to her, she'll have higher charisma, which means higher hit points. Although I could do the same for Jaethal, she totally needs it. But she's got that judgment one, she wants that one. Charisma. Who needs charisma? Anybody? Val don't. She don't. He does. Kind of. He's got that thaumaturge's cloak on. It gives him a bonus to his charisma. Lindsay could use it, but she's already got that. Well, this is better, though. Because she gets a whole person spell as well. There we go. Alright. I feel good about that. Oh, and I guess while we're here, do we have any scrolls that she needs to copy? No. Who else would have scroll copying ability? Jubilos, her, and me. Nothing's flagged up as green as far as I saw, so I think we're good to go. So, first, quick save. Where are we going from here? Oh, notice this. We have a upgrade the capital to the city. And we got to help Amiri still. Alright, so let's actually head out. We have enough rations. We could use more. But we can always hunt. We're good at hunting, so let's just straight up leave. And I can take a new person, so we definitely want to bust in Harem, because we don't have a healer otherwise. Get her back on the list. You know I'm taking Juby. And I guess since we're taking range, it's either Lindsay, Octavia, or Tristan. Or Tristan. The traitor is Tristan. Ekin. Okay. Feel good about that. And that gives us Doggo. So, Amiri's quest, she has a solo part where she is controlled by you directly. And we have to be real careful on that one because either A, we could straight up screw the pooch on that one. See if I can show you that when we get to it. Flint Rock Grassland. Help Amiri discover Nilix's fate. And where is... Candlemere Bloom, that's again Tristan. Again, we can go there and then go to the other, but literally, as weird as it is, this is so close, you would think, well, go here first. But it straight up screws you. We still got to obtain a unicorn's horn for Irene. I don't know why that keeps showing up there as being a go there. So we really need to go here, I'm thinking. So, closest place to that, teleportation-wise, is either this one or this one. And safe money's probably on this guy. So we're going to trade guard. Okay. Now notice we will be outside of our zone here before too long. Quick save. Check this. We need to see how much time we have before someone fails their check, which I think is like 3 days. 2 days. And it's a 50-50 shot. So if we can't resolve this in quote-unquote 2 days, we have some problems. So actually, before we leave the area, let's do a hard save. And say 2 days. In case I need to figure out when I have to go back to an earlier save. On the bank, to our utter surprise, we saw a ferry. Its rough-sounding ferryman smelled like onions and trouble. He told us that the problem of pirates on the river has been resolved. A group of Numerians has gone downstream and scared off all the pirates. He told us then a heartbreaking story of his friend who once robbed travelers but was wise enough to yield to the Numerians and now is living the miserable life of an honest man. Against all my expectations, we got to the other side without any trouble. Random story. Country road, don't know what that's about. We know this is where we want to go though. Two-Face Hill, Raspberry Gully. And this is part of Glenabon, which we do not own as a territory. So again, we've burnt up a day. By the second, we have to get back over the border here, back into pleasant territory again. I think we're going to be fine though. As long as we don't like take a knee or anything like twice, we should be okay. Now, this one, like I said, is a two-parter. So there's Amiri doing her quest by herself. But you can buff her up and then use that to help her out. And she will need it. Then, you and your party is actually fighting on a very large map, on the overland, outside map. The random barbarians and wolves and giants and whatever else that are basically pissing off Lady Eldori. So this is this part here, and because this one's going to be so long, I think what we're going to do, guys, is it's only been an hour and a half, but I am getting a little sleepy already. I'm going to cut this up into 2 separate videos, which will make sense to me, of course, and then we'll start this off fresh tomorrow morning. But with that, my name is Brother Mutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.